Hey guys, Cosmic Sparrow here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know I said in my previous video that I wasn't really going to be getting into Catastrophe Crow anymore until it's confirmed to continue or end, but I figured I'd go over some fan-made theories that have popped up in the server, one of which includes my own, but mostly what other people have come up with. A warning before I begin, I might talk about terminal illness, injury, and or suicide, so please be wary as you continue. Also, if you haven't seen Catastrophe Crow gameplay or don't know what it is, then please watch my previous videos about it as they are important to some understanding of the game and ARG. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This first theory isn't a huge one, but it was submitted by user Baguette Being on Discord. This theory suggests that Nils' birthday was on February 24th, 1986. The reason for that being is that stock images were found in the game showing screenshots from a phone, tablet, or computer, both pertaining that date. However, there is also speculation that it could be Thea's birthday or Nils' birthday. Another date also popped up, 1997, with the same date, February 24th, but people speculate that this might be the day Thea died. However, neither of these are confirmed. This next theory was submitted by user Moon on Discord. They brought up the fact that Manfred was working on Alpha Wave's continuum, and they did some research into it. Through this research, they found that alpha waves stimulate different parts of the brain, and they believed that Manfred was possibly looking into this due to Thea's unknown condition. The same user suggested that because of Thea's supposed neurological disorder, it kept her from going out, and her room looks like a kid world because it became a lot smaller, and she became confined to her room in her last days. This next theory was submitted by user Croden on Discord. I had brought up a while back that somebody had found unactive trees in the Unity build inside of Thea's room. However, they were marked as enemies. Then, this user brought up the fact that there were talisman textures found in the trees in the game. I asked them about this, and they said that talismans are traditionally used to ward off evil. Upon further investigation, I asked why would you need to ward off evil in a game, and especially since there's no evil to ward off. They said that Opus Interactive might have put them in there for good luck, but I also brought up the fact that Manfred worked on the game himself in his final days before he went missing. This will tie into a later theory I will mention later. This theory was mentioned by Moon, the user I mentioned earlier, about the mirror scene in the forest. In the forest level of Crow 64, there is a scene where you look into a mirror, and it shows you this distorted place, and then it goes back to the normal scene. They interpreted it as Manfred divorcing his wife and taking his children away from him. We determined that this could be a plausible reason why it was inserted, but it also could have been for other reasons. User Mirai brought up a theory that has to do with the previous one. They were talking about how mirrors in nature reflect things and how magnetism attracts things. They say that there are mirrors placed in the forest level to reflect evil or ward off different things, similar to the talismans. So that begs the question, what evil is being warded off and what is being protected? This next theory was created by me and user Risebird. Throughout Adam Butcher's video, and other videos that people created, there was a term thrown around by Manfred himself that people tend to overlook, and that is Eternal Revival System. Now, we don't know what for sure it means, but we did come up with a theory for it, so please bear with me as I explain it. In the science fiction TV show Doctor Who, Season 4, Episodes 8 and 9 are called Silence in the Library and The Forest of the Dead. I made a connection with this theory and Doctor Who, as they are very similar. Now, in these episodes of Doctor Who, we go over the story of a man whose daughter was dying of a terminal illness. So, he created a system, a library, where he could transfer her consciousness so that she might live forever and protect others who entered the library. Now, I brought this up because we came to theorize the fact that Manfred could have created the Eternal Revival System to protect Thea's consciousness forever from whatever illness she was plagued with, basically trying to immortalize her in that way. However, this also connects to the scene with the dead or mortally wounded Crow at the end of the game. We believe that this could represent Manfred's failure in doing this, depicted by the quote-unquote decapitated bird, and if you look at the said bird, there's scratch marks all over it and missing feathers, suggesting that he failed in preserving her memory and was only able to take pieces of her instead of the whole thing. This next theory is by A Buggy Replay and Nothing Is Here on Discord. Now, this theory has two parts. The first part being that Adam Butcher, the person who first brought up this missing game, is actually Nils. While there is a little bit of proof and evidence to go off of this, there's not a whole lot, and so we disregarded it as we decided the creator of the ARG would most likely not include himself within the game. The second theory is that the game cartridge of Crow 64 was meant for Nils, but instead, Adam Butcher got it. We also believe that because of this, if Nils is still alive, he is anywhere from the age 25 to 35. This theory was submitted by user Deska. A spectrogram was taken for one of the audio clips found in the game for one of the jump actions. When you look at the spectrogram, it looked like there was a figure that appears in the form of a fishing boat, with two more figures on top of it and a box. People believe that this is Nils and Marta. However, it could be Manfred and someone else. We do not know for sure who it might be. The same user also suggested that it could have been Manfred with Thea's body in the real world, trying to get her to come back, but ended up just dumping her in the ocean. This theory was brought up by Morg's Slave, but many others have contributed to this one. This theory suggests that the Scarecrow and Crawler enemies found in one of the levels is actually Nils and Marta, his son and his wife. By him, I mean Manfred. But they believe this because in a family photo found in the house, the two people are replaced with these said enemies. This theory has been brought up by many various people. This theory suggests that Manfred was the way to the underworld. Now, it sounds a bit out there, but just hear me out. In various mythology, specifically Egyptian and Greek mythology, the only way to the underworld was via boat by someone who was able to take you there. Now, since there is apparent proof of Egyptian mythology in the game, people believe this may be plausible. That is going to be all for this video, but if you have your own theory or idea that you would like to suggest, please add me on Discord or comment it down below and let me know what it is you would like me to cover in a future video. As always, be sure to share, like this video, subscribe, and go watch my previous videos about Crow 64.